is unbelievable. You haven't uploaded a video in a week.
I just got back from Indwar.
It was a week ago.
The Kickstarter's almost over. Alright, so what do we want in a flywheel cage? Well, we want precision aluminum construction, consistent feeding and accuracy,
Oh no!
ease of installation and design, and performance. Enter the Nix cage. So, the Nix cage started off as a prototype kind of solution to trying to figure out how we could make the best possible flywheel cage down here in Georgia at a machine shop very close to the workshop, and put together a product like a premium product for the nerfing hobby that was made in the United States so there were no long shipping times from over in, say, Germany, and still get the same performance, the same consistency, and frankly the same quality, like a beautifully precision machined product that looked really good. And we finally got back our first coated samples, so this is Nix 1, and I think that it gives a really good idea of like what the final Nix product's going to look like. Now it's completely black hard coated, bead blasted, and then laser serialized, and it looks so sexy. Now, while a really good looking cage is important, even more important is how easy this is to use, how well it's going to perform. So I wanted it to look great through the window, which is why we put the laser there, but there's a bunch of extra holes now. Everybody does holes to push their flywheels off of their motors. Ease of flywheel removal is important, and I thought, why not thread them? So you can see here on our prototype that these thread in very easily, and the purpose of that, and each Nix cage comes with not only hard metal ones but also some really soft plastic ones, is so that you can take any Allen key and thread your flywheels off. Now, not only by twisting all the way can you get the flywheels off, it also lets you get an absolutely perfectly precision set of your flywheels. What's the point of machining ultra precise flywheels and then putting them in a very tight tolerance cage if you can't get them exactly right every time? So I find that after seating that on there and getting it to the point that the little nylon thread sits up against the flywheel's Delrin, 1 1/4 turns with the Allen wrench. That's 1 1/4. Gets you exactly where you want to be dead on every time through this. And I kind of have taken this dart just so that you guys can see how incredibly precise that is. Now, what is the Nix cage's performance? Well, it would be what we in the hobby call a high crush cage, yet we laid out precision Delrin flywheels to be kind of a low crush flywheel. So the combination of low crush flywheels with relatively high concavity, and that high crush gives us good performance and consistent performance, but it gives us really good accuracy. And then a lot of people seem to think that you have to add extra material onto the cage, and there are a few cages that do that well to get more accuracy. You actually don't need that much extra material, so we just machined and necked down the aluminum itself such that it has that really tight fit on these darts, and that seems to be giving us the exact accuracy that we were looking for in our product. So as far as performance goes, that's up to you. Whatever motors you want to add on, you can add on. You can see that my personal sample here, which is number 13, because Sanguine has red wheels on it. It's the only set of red wheels that I'm keeping for myself, and it has the Indwar Edition Fangs revamped motors. With Fangs revamped, this hits right at around Indwar specs, which is just under 130. Now 120 to 130 is some serious flywheel performance, and the fact that it's consistently accurate at those speeds means that it's great for CQB, it's great for super stock, and it's great for goofing around in the backyard. It does pretty much everything but like the highest end flywheel performance, which frankly, these days destroys darts, so we weren't interested in taking it quite that far. I'm sure that with a higher crush flywheel, a Nix cage could do slightly higher FPS, but I have no interest in that personally, so I'll let the community decide. So while we think that the performance is great and the ease of installation, particularly for flywheels onto motor shafts, is great, there are just a lot of little tweaks that we got to add by virtue of being very late to this market and having built so many different performance-based blasters, like really high-level, high-tier builds. So one thing that I've noticed is that like not all cages are necessarily mated. You can see that the screw and the screw ports were reamed out perfectly so that it's absolutely flush, and since we include plenty of screws with each Nix cage, you have no need to go out and find other ones, which means that you'll always be flushing those wells, whether you're installing the brushed motors, which will fit brush motors in 130, 132, 180 size, no matter what you're looking for, but it'll also, on these alternative flywheel holes, seat brushless motors. So if you want, you could be the first one to put brushless motors in a Nix cage. But overall, we just wanted to deliver a premium product that sounded amazing. I want to talk briefly about our high concavity flywheels real quick. They have really good dart grip and fit, but also they have these holes. Now these holes were to remove weight and create a noise, and that's why we call our flywheels howlers. They just sound amazing on rev up and rev down. They just have a really, really cool noise to them. Now, in theory, that could induce some drag in a closed system, which slows them down a little bit, but again, it's already getting the performances that we want, so why not have an ultra unique wheel that looks great with this little gear cutout and sounds amazing. Plus, we wanted to do something absolutely unique so that there are just more options out there for all kinds of nerfers and their builds. We also got our hands on the only red Delrin in North America, and we made as many flywheels as we possibly could to kind of make this really cool set. I really wanted personally a black cage with red wheels. It was exorbitantly expensive to get red Delrin so that we could make this happen, and I am more than happy to share it with you guys through Kickstarter, but once they're gone, they're gone. Like, this was not easy to get a hold of. Turns out most people use only black and only white acetyl Delrin for industry purposes. So getting red required destroying somebody's special display. But these are really hot. I'm very happy with how they turned out. I think that they look amazing with the red and the black coated motors from Indwar. It's just a very handsome package that performs very, very well and has HVZ players in mind and at heart, because that's how I got my start in nerfing, and I think that that's the kind of product that I want to design and cater towards. Now, I'm already thinking of new things to tinker with in CNC, but all of that depends on the success of this project. This is my first Kickstarter. I really want to blow it out of the park. I really want to deliver something ultra special to you guys, and I want it to perform very, very well. So down in the description box is the link to the Nix cage. I am not sure if I'm going to offer them after the Kickstarter, and if I do, I know that they'll have to be a little bit more expensive, but this is the absolute lowest price that you can get the Nix cage at. It comes with a super slick logo. Everything will be serialized, so you know that you're going to get one of the early ones because your number is going to be as low as I can possibly make it. And we sunk a lot of love into this. Like, I don't talk about it a ton on the channel because it always feels like you have your hand out, but like anytime you take a risk and do something like this, you just kind of are going on faith that your community will support it and love it as much as you do, and that's what Project Nix is. It is my first foray into machining in-house my own parts specifically for my hobby and my community, and your support would mean an absolute ton to me. Like, if you dig it, please check it out. Give me a follow on Kickstarter because I will be doing more things in the future through that platform. I really enjoy that platform, but mostly, like, if this is something that you're interested in and you would like the, in my opinion, like coolest looking, also very high performance, very precise flywheel cage that's been made in the United States, I think that that's well worth checking out, and I would love your support. As always, much love, something on, Drek out.